In this video, I'm sharing what I packed for my Alaska summer cruise, what I actually wore, and what I wish I had brought. This video is focused only on what to wear, including clothes, hats, shoes, and jewelry. I've also put together a handy packing list with everything I recommend for your Alaska cruise, and you can find that linked in the video description below. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more Alaska cruise videos. Thanks so much, it's truly appreciated, and let's get started. First, let's talk a bit about when I sailed and what the weather was like. I sailed in July, which is typically the warmest month of the Alaska cruise season. I had heard the weather could be unpredictable, so I packed for both warm and cool weather. A couple of YouTubers on an Alaska cruise had described being tired, cold, and sad, but their cruise was a month earlier in June. And this wasn't my experience at all. I was energized, comfortable, and happy cruising in July. While the weather did shift a bit as we traveled from Seattle to Glacier Bay and back, overall it was relatively warm, and it surprisingly did not rain at all, which is unusual for Alaska, where it rains in the port of Ketchikan 200 plus days out of the year. So here's what I brought on my summer cruise to Alaska but didn't end up using. I packed a pair of earmuffs just in case it got really cold, but the weather was too warm to need them. I brought a pair of faux fur-lined isotoner gloves, but never felt cold enough to need them. I brought several sweaters, but I overpacked. For example, I didn't wear my teal sweater at all. That said, I wore it later on at home and liked it so much I bought a second color. I also packed a lightweight, packable raincoat, but again, it never rained, so it stayed in my backpack. Now let's cover what I did wear. Even though there wasn't a formal night on the cruise line I sailed, the Norwegian Encore, my group decided to dress up for one of our dinners. I wore a navy floral dress with short sleeves and a skirt that falls to the knee, along with blue flats. I was wondering if I'd be cold on the ship wearing this outfit, but the temperature was just right. I didn't need a sweater at all that evening. For my typical daily outfits, I wore jeans, a short sleeve shirt, and a sweater over it. I also brought a couple of jogger pants for lounging on the ship. They were super comfy, and I enjoyed wearing them on the ship, but I didn't wear them out on excursions as I thought they would probably become too warm. On warmer afternoons, I switched to a long sleeve t-shirt. In fact, I only packed one long sleeve t-shirt, and I ended up wearing it multiple times. If I could do it over, I'd definitely bring maybe 3 or 4 of these long sleeve t-shirts because they were the perfect layer to wear for my Alaska cruise. I also brought 2 pairs of water-resistant pants, and I ended up wearing both. Even without rain, they were comfortable and perfect for excursions, and they have UV protection. Since our cruise included the 4th of July, I wore a red, white, and blue outfit to celebrate. If you'd like to see that look, you can watch the video linked in the description and in the card above. Shoes I wore. For shoes, I wore a pair of blue Keds while on the ship. They are cute, casual, and comfortable. For excursions, I wore water-resistant hiking shoes that are super comfortable once they are broken in. They weren't fully waterproof, but they worked well for me since it didn't rain. If you're cruising during a rainier time of the year, I'll link to some fully waterproof options in the description in addition to my water-resistant shoes here. Because they are very comfortable and supportive shoes, you can walk a long time in them without your feet feeling tired. Jewelry. For jewelry, I kept it simple. I wore a pair of faux diamond Huggie earrings on our dress-up dinner night. They are inexpensive, so I didn't have to worry about losing them, and they were recommended by another YouTuber. I also bought these small gold hoops. They're 18-karat gold-plated and very affordable. I wore these every day on the cruise, and they were recommended by the same YouTuber. Following my cruise, I have continued to wear both pairs often, as they are light and comfortable to wear. Sweaters and layers. I packed 2 Patagonia sweaters, a breathable pink one with venting holes that was perfect for active excursions, and a warmer blue one for the ship and excursions. I wore both throughout the trip depending on the temperature. I had one puffer vest which I considered as part of my group of sweaters, and I enjoyed wearing my puffer vest on my cruise. I also brought thermals which I wore on the day of my whale watching excursion. Hats and sun protection. Even though it was summer, I wore a snow cap on chilly mornings, especially in Skagway and during the whale watching trip. Once it warmed up during the day, I switched by the afternoon to a black waterproof hat with UV protection and a brim. One of the bus drivers in Skagway even complimented me, telling the group that I had the right idea with my sun hat. He cautioned the group to watch out for sunburns in Alaska. In fact, on that same day, someone in my group got sunburned. Of course, I also brought sunglasses to protect my eyes from the UV rays. Pajamas and other tips. At night, I wore a medium weight pajama set that kept me comfortable. In the beginning of the cruise closer to Seattle, it was warmer on the ship. Some passengers were even wearing shorts, both on the ship and during excursions, even the whale watching excursion. I didn't bring shorts or a swimsuit, but honestly, I didn't miss them. And swimming wasn't high on my list of things to do. That said, if you're sailing in July and want to swim or go on the water slides, it's definitely warm enough to do so at times, or at least it was on my cruise. Just one note of caution that if you're someone who gets hot easily and shorts work for you during the cruise, the weather does get colder as you get closer to Glacier Bay, and there were times I was perfectly fine with a warm sweater on, even inside the ship. Bringing pants that convert to shorts would also be a great option for you. I wore wool socks every day. They were breathable, cozy, and just right, never too warm or too cold. Jackets. In addition to the rain jacket I didn't wear, I brought a blue puffer jacket without a hood. Since it didn't rain, this worked fine for me. But if you're cruising during colder or rainier parts of the season, I'd recommend a hooded jacket, either a puffer or lightweight raincoat with the cinch or tie at the neck so the hood won't fly off in the wind. I'll link some hooded jacket options in the description below. Want to know what else to pack? Check out What to Pack for an Alaska Cruise, which is my Alaska Cruise Essentials video, which covers only the essentials you'll need to pack for your Alaska cruise, but all of the essentials you'll need. It's linked in the card above and in the description below. It's already gotten over 19,000 views and 600 likes on my small channel, so I think you'll find it very helpful.